slow dance, kaleidoscope night with no chance to catch your feet. And the DJ is fast asleep, and the pretty girl like what she sees. So tap your toes, avert your eyes, cling to the shadows until you find her thighs. Oh what is waiting right behind you, and who's to say when trouble finally finds you? To be gentle, so gentle, so gentle. Hip sway, just as you imagine, and the mood swings are relevant as fashion in the current situation. No room for conversation as it whispers in your ear. Well, what's the point in waiting? So close your tab, drop a quarter in a coin slot, and hail the cab to pull out what you just bought. And what is waiting right behind you, and who's to say when trouble finally finds you? To be gentle, so gentle, so gentle. The walls spin, and the waterbed is leaking as she fights to get in. You know, no romantic evening ends with a rubber fist, bent over and bleeding, thinking to yourself, good looks can be deceiving. So bite down on the pillow, try not to squirm. It'll all be over soon except for the burn in your water. What is waiting right behind you, and who's to say when trouble finally finds you? To be gentle, so gentle, so gentle.
Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's Live and Loud. Today we host Bowling Green's very own Tree No Leaves. Either you can introduce everyone, or everyone can introduce themselves, say your instrument and your name.
Yeah, we'll do that. So my name is Dustin Galish, and I play keys and sing.
I'm Garrett Tanner. I play saxophone.
I'm Steven Guerrero, and I play bass, and I have a ridiculous pedal board.
I am Billy Gruber. I play hand percussion, aux percussion, shaker, doodad things. A little bit of everything.
A.K.A. bongos. The bongos. Bongos that are congas. I'm JP Steve. I play drum set.
To start off, why don't you tell us a little bit about you guys and your history as a band together?
Let's see. I actually started the band in like 2009, and so it's been a lot of different versions of the band. You know, I'm the only really consistent one, so we've been anything from a one piece when I was solo, it's up to 7, I think, at one point. And so, but the 5 of us now have really been together. I would say it's been close to 3 years now. Yeah, about 3 years really that we've been playing as a group. I think this was, in many ways, this is the most consistent the band's ever been with members over a long period. So it's always been sort of different waves. And so I was just talking, I had JP set up here because he's been around the longest now. But yeah, like Garrett joined the band actually, it was like 2018. And so we were playing a show at Howard's. He asked if he could jam with us, and I think he joined the band the next day. So that was And it was like at least a 2-hour show, I think, too. So it was sort of like, well, he made it work. So that was great. Steven joined us in 2019, summer of 2019. And then Billy sat in with us at Grounds for Thought once, and then same kind of thing, just sort of, all right, I guess let's make this work.
Kind of
So
in and out since 2016-ish.
yeah.
So
So he's the only one that's not from this area right now. He's from Dayton, so he plays with us more.
Gem City.
For more,
Oh, I see Dayton people.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
some more specific shows that we work with him, but the four of us we're more here. You know, we play in smaller ensembles and stuff like that too. So
Who are some of your influences as a band, or as a style of your band?
that's a hard one. I think in some ways we're not as easy to classify that way because a lot of us have very different interests, certainly in what we all listen to, which sort of creates sort of unique aspects of when we share stuff to people. It's never like, holy crap, we all like that. It's a lot of times it's sort of like, I like what you like, and it helps us understand where we're all coming from musically, which is kind of cool. I think some bands are like, we all like this one type of music, let's make that type of music. We've never been set up that way. You know, I'm more into sort of soul, funk, and pop stuff. That's kind of where I come from. I guess we'll let everybody else kind of talk about what they are interested in.
Yeah, I like a lot of jazz and funk, and I guess I grew up playing a lot of rock music, but I really like, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, growing up with like the dad rock, Santana, like the Rolling Stones, Sympathy for the Devil is what got me into playing congas as a kid. But then like now, just a lot of R&B, hip hop type stuff.
I cut my teeth on metal. I was in a lot of death metal bands and a lot of thrash and stuff like that back in the day. And I discovered Jaco Pastorius through a band called Cynic. Sean Malone was probably Cynic changed my life. That's why. But I was knee deep in Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that. And I heard Cynic, and they had a fretless bassist on there, Sean Malone, and I was like, oh. So hence the, poop. Oh my gosh.
He's not live. You're good.
Goodness me. That's why the fretless. And so, yeah. And then, it's just everybody talks about Jaco if you're a fretless bassist, but I mean, you can't avoid it. And then it's everything and anything other after that. Prague then. And like I said before, it's, I would wear a cape if they'd let me.
All right. I'm curious. Have you ever heard of
Sorry,
Freak Bass?
excuse me. Pardon me. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize.
Have you ever heard of Freak Bass?
Yes, I have. He's
Yes.
fantastic. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely, yes. Mono Neon, yeah. I mean, yeah. So there you go. Bass-centric music and stuff like that. And I'll stop talking and let Garrett talk. He and I like a lot of the same music too.
I like metal a lot. A lot. More of like the doom sludge kind of hardcore stuff. I was actually listening to Autopsy the other day. In the Grip of Winter I really like. But I also really like jazz. I mean, I play saxophone for, I've been playing that for probably 20 plus years now. I started in 5th grade. If there's anybody out there aspiring to be who is listening is young, join band. It's a great activity. But other than that, jazz, contemporary art music, I play still a good bit amount. Because that's, again, went to school for saxophone. But probably what I grew up listening to most was probably prog rock, dead rock vibe. But lot of metal. Matt Pike for president, and I'm gonna stop.
Amazing. What have you guys been up to the last couple years, especially through the pandemic and stuff?
Down.
We'll see. I mean, yes, we are getting down because we actually played. We played a lot of shows. I'll be straight up. Yeah, we played more shows this last, I want to say 7 months. We played probably up to 40 shows. So it was sort of, we've never gone that hard as a band. Sort of, a lot of that was a reaction to not playing any shows for almost a year and a half. But we've also been more of like a band who plays full nights. And so we moved out of that idea of like, oh, there's 3 bands, we're going to play for 40 minutes. So we're doing more of the full night, learning some covers and improvising quite a bit too. That's still part of what we do, is sort of improvise. Obviously we didn't do a lot of that today, but that's how you fill the time. But playing a lot of shows. We put out a record during COVID. It's a concept record it's a comic book, and it has a 7-inch vinyl that's 2-sided. So we did that sort of to be creative when we weren't able to play shows. So we did everything remotely. previously most everything we did was in different studios, and so but we didn't have access to do that, and so we just did everything at home, pieced something together, and had a really fun time doing it. It's not something it wasn't the most ideal situation to record a record, but it forced a lot of us to get better equipment for home and stuff too, which is awesome. So yeah, so it's different for us, and we're always trying to make new records in new places and new settings, and so that was fun to make a record like from our bedrooms more or less. So
Belief will be the death of me, waiting for the agony, weightless, careless and free. Can't you see the hypocrisy of seeing is believing, weightless, careless and free? Countless perceptions of stars and night, nobody knows wrong from right, taking a stride to free your mind. Endless pursuits for that piece of the pie, and it goes. From outside, waiting to arrive. See yourself from outside. Propaganda sound, I'll forever be buried under mud and I'm buried under seas. All these diseases are creeping up on me. As long as there are prisons that grow like trees, propaganda sound, I'll forever be buried under mud and I'm buried under seas. All these diseases are creeping up on me. From outside, waiting to arrive. See yourself, see yourself, see yourself from outside. Oh. Waiting to arrive. See yourself from outside, waiting to arrive. See yourself from outside.
I guess you've kind of talked about how you try to do it in different settings, but what goes into a Tree No Leaves song?
I mean, at this point, about 90% of the stuff that's in the band is stuff that I've written, and so there's been certain times, even the song we played today, Rubber Love, which was the first song I did not write, and so, but it was our former bass player Benji Katz, who's a songwriter, presented that song to us, and that was different. That was the first time we'd ever really done that, like singing someone else's music. But most of the time, I start as I was a loop artist, so I usually write to drum loops now and just sort of write songs and progressions over that. Find a melody, and then these guys break it down and add their elements to it. That's sort of how it structurally has worked for a while.
A few others, like Steven wrote the Flight, so we just like kind of, sometimes people have ideas that they haven't used before and bring them, and then we just make the Tree No Leaves song.
Yeah, like Steven is very thematic in what he writes, and so that's very instrumental. That's what his project is. So, he thinks in a different way than I would, and so it's that was fun for us to do something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point I'm trying to write more from rhythm. I think that's the big thing I've been trying to learn. Because when you write songs just with yourself by piano or guitar, you do too much. It's almost like you fill too much space. So I've been trying to, at least for myself, try to write from a rhythmic standpoint, which I think these guys like. So, yeah.
Lyrics come first for you, like, or historically, or
no,
like
lyrics
do you do
come
it all
last
together?
actually. Yeah, the
They
very,
come
very,
last?
very last thing. So there's times where the record and the guys are like, all right, the song's sort of done. Have you written any lyrics for it yet? I'm like, no, it actually hasn't happened. So that's sort of to me, I leave that. I try to fill in the space with the vocals and the lyrics, with the space that's left, as opposed to filling that space and letting them sort of. It makes the music to me more interesting, where the lyrics are sort of, and the melody of that is catering to the instrumentation, not the other way around. So that's probably been pretty consistent for the band for its entirety, really, at this point.
So this is like a loaded question, or if somebody else has one, what is one of your favorite memories as a band together? Appropriate.
That's a fun one. Wow. I mean, not to be sort of cheesy, but at this point, it's sort of been a collection of like our road trips. I think that's something the band, I've been around for quite a few years in the band, only until like 2018, we started we got a van, we all crammed in there, and you sort of had these bonding experiences. And it's sort of different than back in the day. It was everyone drive separate, you'd show up and kind of make it work. And I think those memories are really unique of just that time you spend as a band, that a lot of us, because we're busy, some of us have families, jobs, other things, so we don't have a time to really hang out as sort of friends. So I think for me, that's been really awesome to have this weird van that we can all shove into and have that experience, which we don't really have, we don't share like a house and just kind of hang out together. So anyone else?
Yeah, I was gonna say something. We played Black Swamp Fest on the main stage. What was it, 2017 or 2018? So that was probably one of my favorites. Just playing on the main stage at Black Swamp. Oh, was it Saturday morning, I think, or Sunday morning? Yeah. So that was probably my favorite. We did, yeah. Played two tons of steel at Howard's that night.
4 or 5 shows in 24 hours, I think, that weekend.
Yeah, and then we did Black Swamp this past year, which was pretty fun too, to do a couple of shows there.
Oh, I don't know if we did a house show in Ann Arbor one time. Where was it? With Big Mahogany? Yeah, somewhere. That was cool. Yeah. We get down. That was fun. We hang out.
It's great. I don't know. I have lots of memories. I think it's hilarious. I love it when we're live and this guy's over. He's, because we'll be, doing a thing. I look over and then like no shirt. Billy's got no shirt on, and then he's got no pants, and then I'm like, the next thing that comes up better be shoes, because I'm next to you, and I love you. The congas will cover it all, but it's fantastic. It's great. Well, the point is that it's like one of the there's a high energy, those high energy shows, when they play the Village Idiots have been really fun lately. Just that place is great to play. Because the people are there to listen to music. It's, you know what I mean? So that's always great, and they seem to dig it. It's probably because oh yeah, that's right. We had a wedding. We played a wedding. That was awesome. Yeah. We do played weddings.
About at the wedding.
I don't know who's. Garrett, do you have a favorite?
I have. What was it? It was like, didn't we play a show out in Cleveland? Wasn't it like
Now that's class with the Muamin Collective, and was cold as all get out. And I remember just being on top of like the van for like couple of minutes, because I was enjoying the evening, as I am wont to do. But no, that was a lot of fun. Just kind of getting out and traveling around. I mean, I'm actually not originally from Ohio in general. Like, I'm from Pennsylvania, and it's been cool to see us branch out more. And hopefully at some point I will have a fun memory in my home state. So that'll be cool.
That art gallery played where like there was like 10 people.
Negative space.
Oh, Negative Space, yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a hard out. They were like 11 o'clock. We got to be done, and they were like, you got to be on.
And we had to
and
put
then
on.
everybody
lost their minds over like us playing.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, to get booked for a show and it's like 11:45. Yeah. Yeah, we got booked for a show and we had a guarantee. I brought a lot of people out, and the building closed at, I think it was midnight, but it was like 11:45 and we hadn't even set up yet, and we were just like, what is happening? And so they had some guy run in and get approval to stay open late, so it was kind of awesome.
Shouts out to Sunshine Media.
Yeah, and Dave. And Dave and Daddy. Yeah.
Gotta get Negative space.
That was a good one.
So yeah, some good memories. I mean, even the Cleveland trip was wild because we ended up staying at a house of this girl who was, very lovely and nice, but she was into roadkill. Taxidermy. But our guitarist at the time woke up and there was a trail of blood, like oozing down like the kitchen, and he woke up and he was very angry. So that was unique. It's very rock and roll, as you can tell. Yeah, she's very nice. No, but yeah, the freezer was not closed.
Freezer.
That's what we learned.
Situation with all the taxidermy. Too much road.
There was too much in there. That was the problem. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
To each their own. To each their own.
It's all taxidermy. Nothing else untoward.
Nothing in the Dahmer variety.
See the monsters of the big city. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, the bang bang of the city drum. Let's go party, fall in line. Yeah, but don't waste my time trying to stay alive. The wolves are knocking at the door. Can't hide in the shade anymore. Yeah, but don't waste my time trying to stay alive. The wolves are knocking at the door. Can't hide in the shade anymore. You see right through me with your tinted glasses. Maybe it's rosé. Want to run through the city, 'cause lately shit's getting hazy all the time. Yeah, but don't waste my time
Anything else you guys want to add?
If you want to support us, outside of looking at stuff, you can go to trinaleaves.com. We have vinyl. If you're into that, you can also get all our music for free in all those ways. But we have T-shirts and things like that. But if you're into vinyl, we've done that a bit. And that's just the best way to support us is just go to trinaleaves.com and come to our shows. So.
Amazing.
Just keep dancing and smiling.
Just keep dancing and smiling.
We swear we can see you, even if you're smiling under that mask. So don't worry.
It's in the eyes.
Don't.
Twinkle, we know it's there.
It's in the eyes of Xylem,
Oh my god. Oh, there we go.
which is the name of our record. So I just did that. Yeah. So I just did that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you guys so much.
we're really lucky to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
This has been Claire Kaywood with Tree No Leaves, closing out today's Live and Loud, presented by Music Industry Club, BG Falcon Media, and Falcon Radio. Thank you.
Got it.
Do you get the feeling? They just dropped on me.